Can you out-train a bad diet? Well, of course you can. I'm actually sick and tired of hearing this. I don't know why people think they're so cool for doing videos where they're like, oh, it's a myth, you can't out-train a bad diet. I don't know why this persists, that people keep insisting that you can't out-train a bad diet. We've all done it. I've done it. You've probably done it yourself. Think about whenever you were young and you were playing sports. I lived on a diet of McDonald's and Burger King and Pizza Hut and ice cream. I ate absolute junk. Can you out-train a bad diet? Well, let's see here. I've talked about this before. Because I'm psychotic, I decided to become a Navy SEAL. Well, I didn't succeed, but that was my goal, right? So I was running like 100 to 120 miles a week. I was in the pool all the time, swimming up to 60 miles a week. I was doing bodyweight PT every day, thousands of push-ups, all the time. Plus I was lifting weights. So there's not really a whole lot of time to cook. You don't have time to sit around in the kitchen, mixing up your organic vegetables and grass-fed beef and blah, 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 blah. So, like, my typical day was eating things like donuts for breakfast. And, oh, I know, I'll run through McDonald's and grab whatever McMuffin crap shit there is. And, for lunch, I will hit Burger King and I'll get a double Whopper with fries and a large Coke. And, for dinner, maybe I'll go to Wendy's and get a triple. And then I'll probably eat a whole pizza and probably 2 pints of ice cream, Ben & Jerry's. That wasn't an unusual thing for me. I ate absolute trash. I remember my girlfriend at the time, and she's like, I don't understand how you're so skinny all the time. All you do is eat. And it's like, well, no. It seems like all I do is eat, but like there's also the fact that I go and run for hours every day, and I spend hours in the pool. It was all I did. I quit my job so I could train full-time to prepare. Like, it's all I did. So can you out-train a bad diet? Yes, you can. There's a point, though. The better question is, should you? Not can you. There's lots of things that you can do. Should you? You can max out every day. You can. Come into the gym, put, 135 pounds on the bar, go to 185, go to 225, go to 275, go to 315, go to 365, go to 405, 455, 495. Just keep adding weight to the bar, doing singles, until you hit one where you fail. Max out every day. You can. You won't hit the same max every day. Maybe one day you hit 455 and another day you hit 405 because your legs are fried. You can do Bulgarian training. Work up to a max snatch and a max clean and jerk. Do it 2 and 3 times a day. You can do this. You can run yourself ragged if you want. Should you? That's a different question. That's the real question. It shouldn't be this discussion of can you out-train a bad diet? Because of course you can. Should you? And for most of us the answer is, well, no. Because most people aren't going to quit their job to train full-time. And most people don't have a goal that requires that you do that. So there's really no reason for you to do that. And I wasn't eating the way I ate and exercising to just burn off calories. It wasn't like I was like, well, I want to eat nothing but shit, so I will exercise more to burn off the calories. It was more like, I'm training so much that at this point I just have to get calories in. And if you know anything about elite level sports, okay, there are countless stories of guys who were putting down ice cream and chicken McNuggets and just absolute junk. Because at some point you just have to eat high calorie foods. It has to be calorically dense, okay? You want to eat 10,000 calories a day. I'm sorry, but you're going to have a very hard time eating 10,000 calories a day of chicken breast and broccoli. Could you do it? Maybe, but I wouldn't want to see your bathroom, and I bet your guts will hurt. You will probably be distended all the time, and you will probably be miserable. But it's very easy to let a pint of Ben & Jerry's melt and just drink it. Yeah, you can let it get real soft, and you don't even have to chew it. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. You let it just kind of sit there till it kind of, it's almost like a real thick cream, instead of being hard ice cream, so you don't even have to chew. You can basically just kind of drink it, And that was another thing I did. I did lots of stuff in the blender. It was like, oh, I'll throw a pint of ice cream into the blender, and I'll pour, a whole bottle of kefir. I don't even know if I pronounced that right. It's some type of fermented yogurt that is a liquid form. I'd throw some frozen blueberries in, and I would turn on the blender, and I would just drink that. Because that's a lot easier than chewing. Okay? The point being, we can do a lot of things. You can out-train a bad diet. I have no idea what my blood work was like. I was young. I didn't bother running blood work all the time. I don't know. I could have had terrible cholesterol and, I don't know, probably had all kinds of weird markers that were all screwed up. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like, oh, it was a nutrient-dense diet. But I doubt I had any nutrient deficiencies, because when you're eating that many calories, when you're eating thousands of calories a day, you're probably getting all of your nutrients. I can guarantee. I didn't count protein, but I'm pretty sure I was getting enough protein. I mean, shit, I'm eating, Big Macs and, double Whoppers and Wendy's triples, and, when I got pizza, I got Supreme Pizza. I got all the meat that they could, put everything on it. Put the sausage on it, put the pepperoni on it. I'm pretty sure I wasn't deficient in protein. And I'm very confident I wasn't deficient in carbohydrates or fat either. I also wasn't shredded lean, right? I was lean. You could see the outline of my abs, but I wasn't like stage lean or something. I had a very comfortable level of body fat because it actually damages your performance for you to get too lean. You don't want to get super lean if your goal is performance. These guys that step on stage, they're actually not as fit or strong as you might think they are. They're pretty close to, you feel like death. That's what most people tell me, especially these natural bodybuilders, like you're at your weakest whenever you're finally stage lean. Well, my goal was to be as strong as possible and as fast as possible, which means that you're not going to get stage lean. And that's a different story. That's something for, I don't know, a different channel to discuss, because I don't know anything about that world other than what I've heard other people say about it. Okay? I've certainly made weight for fights. I was stupid lean for that. Cutting to 135, it actually hurt to walk because my feet, I didn't have any fat pads on my feet. It actually hurt to walk. So I had to wear shoes all the time. But the point being, this concept that you can't out-trade a bad diet, no, you definitely can. The better question is, should you? Just like how, can you do Bulgarian training? Yes, you can. Should you? Probably not. You're probably not an Olympian. You're probably not planning on competing in Olympic weightlifting. This probably isn't your full-time job. If it is, that's a different discussion. Just like how, if you want to be a professional fighter, as my coach once told me, hey bud, there's no such thing as a part-time fighter. And he was right. So I quit my job to fight full-time as well. I did that. Which, that is your job. Now you're getting paid to fight. So, you can't be a part-time fighter. You can't be a part-time Navy SEAL. You can't be a part-time Olympian. These are things where you're all in. These are things where if you want to do those things, it means everything else in your life goes by the wayside. And it really does. I could probably do a whole video on how I destroyed all of my relationships and, had a bad relationship with my parents and my brother and my girlfriend and everyone else and all my friends and, where's Chad? Chad's training. All the time. It becomes consuming if you want to compete at the elite levels in sports. I'm not telling you don't. just understand that you have to make trade-offs. I don't even like the word sacrifice. It's a choice. You make a trade-off. Okay? So can you out-train a bad diet? Sure you can. It's a trade-off. It means you have to train your ass off all the time. And this had better be your full-time job. Should you? I don't know. Do you have a good job? Maybe you like your job. Maybe you like your kids. Maybe you want to spend time with your kids. Maybe you like your wife. Maybe you want to spend some time with your wife. Maybe you'd like to spend some time with your parents. Maybe family, friends. Maybe you have other things in your life that matter to you besides just training 24/7. In that case, no, you shouldn't try to out-train your diet. Because it means that you're going to have to sacrifice so many other things. I am going to use the word sacrifice there because if you're not choosing a different career, now you're just screwing your life up, right? You want to be a banker, but at the same time you want to find some way to train for 6 hours a day. Well, there goes like most of your time, because now you're working 8 hours a day plus 6 hours of training, and certainly you're going to spend 2 hours a day just eating, minimum. That's like if you were drinking all of your calories. So there you guys have it. That's my opinion on this. I don't care if it's unpopular. It's the truth. The truth is that you can out-train a bad diet. Should you? Probably not. For the majority of people who are listening to this, you probably shouldn't. Maybe a few of you, though. A few of you might find my channel because you'd like to try to become a Navy SEAL or Special Forces or something. And in your case, you probably can. And you probably should. It means you'll have to quit your job and train full-time to prepare. I'm not soft on that. You need to really prepare. But for the majority of people, it's not about whether or not you can. It's about whether or not you should.